The Simulation Football League presents The Kramer Show. Your non-stop SFL action begins now.
Thank you, Mike Daggs, for that lovely introduction as well. We are in the mix of the playoffs here in the Simulation Football. We are almost 1 week away for knowing who's going to be, well, not even 1 week away. We are less than a few days away from knowing who's going to be in the SFL championship game, and we're going to talk about that. We are going to talk about that today. But first, we got to do that as always. What happened in the week as we have
the recap of the week.
So in the opening round of the playoffs, it's so crazy to think that the playoffs have already started and the fact that they are going strong and we only have a week left of this entire regular season 14. It's crazy, but Chicago Wildcats defeated the St. Louis Gladiators 41-31. Queen City Crusaders outlasted the Mexico City Aztecs 24-20. Sioux Falls Sparrows outperformed the Charleston Predators 24-9. The Vancouver Legion squeaked by the Jacksonville Kings on a controversial call 40-37. So that was the opening round of the playoffs. In the second round, we see as well the Atlanta Storm dominated the Chicago Wildcats 29-7. And the Queen City Crusaders evaded the Baltimore Vultures 27-24. Some, I guess, want to say some takeaways for what happened over the first round of the playoffs was, one, Chicago looked impressive against their win in St. Louis. I think they were out to, I believe, a 17-0 lead at one point, and they were able to capitalize out that 41-31 win. Did not really show up against Atlanta. Atlanta has game planned. I know they lost their last regular season game against Las Vegas, but the Atlanta Swarm, they gave a week and a half, I believe, was the preparation time for Atlanta. They're lights out. Atlanta looked really good. One team that's squeaking by a little bit of everything. They won by a 4-point victory margin. They won by a 3-point victory margin. So it's kind of tight in their games, and they like to keep you on the edge of your seat the entire time. Queen City Crusaders, and they are a team they're a 7 seed. They are I guess an impressive 7 seed with the way that they play the entire season. They have freaking wide receivers left and right that can do anything and everything at a given point in time. So them losing by 3 points, winning by 3 points or winning by 4 points is just good. You have to win the games because of course you lose, you're done. But if you do it by any point, any means, by either winning it by a last-second field goal, you're going to safety it to win it. You win by 2 points or win by 1 point somehow. This is the team that is capable of doing those, pulling the rabbits out of the hats and working their way through, I guess, any type of playoff team there. So with all that being said and done, this coming weekend, this Sunday, we're going to have some impressive action, simulation football action here. I believe it's a 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock game. We'll get more into that in the Who You Got section of this. But we are in the mix of something, I guess, amazing. I want to see Atlanta there. I want to see Vancouver there. I want to see the Queen City there. I want to see Sioux Falls there. Those are the 4 best teams that are in this league. In this league right now as season 14. Sad to see what the red hot St. Louis Gladiators being able to get into the postseason, but not winning their first game. But hey, you got to the postseason, you got that taste. They know what to do when they come back next year. Charleston, they only had 9 points. That defense they were riding the coattails of that defense. I thought this defense was going to outperform this entire time, but Charleston next year, I think Charleston's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the SFL, so it's sad to see those guys go. But let's just move on over to the next segment we're going to have, and it is
What's Trending? So
the SFL, I guess there's an SFL Insider now for the Simulation Football Network. It's kind of a brand new thing. I know people are a little bit confused on what it is, but Aiden Davis has some news, and without further ado, Aiden Davis, you have the floor.
What's up, guys? It's Aiden Davis. Here in the Kramer Show. You might know me, the cornerback for the Denver Nightwings. Here with some inside the SFL. So, recently there has been a lot of retirements, controversial retirements too, but you might not know this one. He was a draftee from a couple seasons ago, or a season ago, who was drafted by the Charleston Predators, Caledon Hawley. He retired recently. I have no idea why he retired, but he retired. So he had one season in the SFL. So, and then of course this new news thing, this new network, Simulation Football Network, has been going around, and of course it's been like an interesting controversy between league staff and of course the people who are in it, of course. So they're trying to figure out what's going on there. This has been your Insider News with Aim Davis.
Thank you for that, as we're going to try to at least get one of the SFL Network guys, because, I mean, this is, for those people, just about clarification on who and what they are, what they're trying to do. They're just trying to help out and not improve what's going on. They are just trying to make stories, and of course the stories for all of us to read and enjoy, and they have a lot of ideas. I know myself, a few other of the notable podcasters you guys may have heard of are just there to help them out and pretty much guide them. I assume that way, but they are just here to, I guess, produce more content for simulation football. Yes, they are producing content for simulation football. They're not producing it for themselves. They're producing it for the SFL, which is the reason why I'm trying to at least incorporate them into helping of putting out more content, because we heard that retirement there from Aiden, and plus what the SFL network is going to be and what they have done. So, keeping it on the What's Trending topic and section, the former St. Louis Gladiators general manager Gerald Smith, the owner of the New Orleans Pharaohs, he purchased the New Orleans Pharaohs, which is very impressive. It's something that I'm not going to say I want to purchase a team yet, because I do enjoy being a general manager of the Denver Nightwings. Shout out to them. But Gerald Smith will rebrand the New Orleans Pharaohs into being the Louisiana Revolution. It's kind of a strong name for Louisiana. I with all these retirements, changing teams, names are being rebranded, being moved elsewhere. Luckily, Gerald kept it in the Louisiana area. We saw Seattle move to Texas once back again. But then we're going to get two more teams that are coming into the SFL, and I'll get into more of that because the State of the Union address, I'll call it the State of the Union address from Simulation Football. The commissioner, Cameron Irvine, he made a statement. He made his comments. He made his comments well known, and the best thing about it is Cameron is the most transparent man, which that's a good thing, being a transparent person, knowing that if you have a problem, you can go to Cam directly, and he will help you out. He'll talk it with you, talk through everything with you. He'll point you into the right direction of what and he'll listen to everybody's thoughts. Like, say if you're having a trouble with, okay, there's something in this game that I do not like. So if you have someone to voice your concern to, rather than posting a Gen Chat trying to be that next I guess heel in the SFL, we're not trying to promote any of that stuff at all. If you have a problem, just go to Cam himself. He'll be the person that will just go right to you and say, okay, this is what you have problems with. This is what we're trying to do to fix this, because he's always trying to make this improving and much better. As if you've seen, we are on TV right now, and the fact that we're doing it, we're on TV doing simulation football for the past season and a half. I believe this is our second season on TV. So he's trying to, I guess, if you're a juggler, you have so many things you have to you're juggling at once. Something that goes by the cracks. Yes, there's something that will slip by because we're all human, and they're all human in trial and error. The best thing with Cam is you point it out to him, he'll see it, he'll find it, and he'll fix it. And that's what is great with Cameron Irvine. I'm not trying to boost up Cam's, his emotion or his encouragement or the pride. I don't know. The word's escaping my mind right now. But Cameron is he's such genuine, and he is so true to himself and trying to make sure the Simulation Football League is going to the right direction one step at a time, and he's clearly doing that from now, since we're still on TV and we haven't been pulled the plug. And going with the TV aspect of me talking about that, and the State of the Union address, television partner 11 Sports and For the Fans spoke with Cam via conference call to share the television ratings this season that have increased 26% from 35,000 total viewers per broadcast to 47,000 total viewers per broadcast, and I think that's a big step. You're getting those numbers, seeing that they're telling Cam, saying, hey, this is what's going on, so please continue to do that. By the way, the SFL Minor League Championship will be broadcasted on television and the league continues to work with our partners to bring unique programming to those around the world. I do want to let you know that the SFLM is going to be on the YouTube and Twitch pages until the championship game, so you'll just see it that way. You'll see your players develop and progress throughout that season if they are doing a development or progression type strategy or area. So there's going to be the broadcast for those. I've been on a conversation with Mr. Cameron Irvine, and those are going to be fun broadcasts. They're going to be laid back. They're going to be relaxed. They're going to be, of course, there's still going to be the talk of what's going on in the game. But those are going to be exciting and fun, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of ideas that's going to be fluctuated into that. There's still a countless of ideas that he's told me that I'm not going to tell on air, because you just got to wait for yourself. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a great interactive time. And another thing out of the State of Union address that we should put out there as the statement, 156 players are set to participate across 8 minor league teams and will likely turn the rookie draft this summer into a week-long event of celebration and excitement as we head into our 15th anniversary season in this coming July. Expansion voting has concluded, and we're excited to reveal the winners at halftime in the SFL Championship game on April 26th. That's 9 days away. We're going to know 2 new teams that are going to be here in the SFL for the actual big leagues. Then we're going to do, that following week, we're going to see 156 players participate in the minor leagues. We are in an exciting time. If you're in the SFL right now, just give yourself a round of applause and pat yourself on the back, because this is exciting times. This is uncharted waters for simulation football. I've been here in the league, had 21 teams. Now we're moving up to 22. I hope with 156 players we can fill all the roster spots, and if it has to come to roster expansion, I'm completely for it. I'm not sure if some GMs are for it or not, or even owners are for it or not. I know for a fact that if I could speak for myself, I'm not speaking for Jeremy Vega at all. I do and hope there's at least a couple roster expansions on the team, because 156 players, put those. I'm not going to do the simple math right now. Put 2 players per team. If you want to expand that, there's 22 teams. Times that by 2 is 44 of the 156 players. Plus you have to add that take away from at least filling up a roster for for the 2 major league clubs. There's still leftover players. So you got to think expansion is right around the corner. That's also, if you want to be on the SFL actually main roster, you got to get a pro subscription. You just got to think that, okay, get a pro subscription and then you're in the pros. Just think about it that way. Hey, if I get the pro subscription, I'm in the pros, and that's what we're trying to get. And now it's the playoffs. The playoffs. And it is the who you got of the playoffs. So I kind of stepped on his toes. So what's Rich Pratchard, what is it?
Who you got? Playoffs?
Yeah, so 7 Queen City Crusaders taking on the number 3 Sioux Falls Sparrows. Sioux Falls defeated Charleston. Queen City defeated Mexico City, and they also defeated Chicago. Well, no, excuse me, not Chicago. They also defeated Baltimore. Queen City's riding hot. They have a 2-game winning streak, but they're winning it by 3. Them being in Sioux Falls, I have to side with Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls is the most blue-collar team in the SFL. If you ever are on general chats in the SFL, you'll never see a Sioux Falls Sparrows guy in there, because they're all about business. They play the games, they go back home, and they just relax. They don't care what's going on in the SFL. Well, I'm not saying they don't care what's going on in the SFL. I'm just saying they don't care to talk to you, which is a good mindset to have. It's a good winning mindset to have, because they're focused. You know Sioux Falls is focused. I'm taking Sioux Falls over Queen City. Then we have the Vancouver Legion versus the Atlanta Swarm. I think this should not be Vancouver's spot. Vancouver squeaked by Jacksonville in the past game, and I don't think they're going to squeak by Atlanta. This defense is way too damn good, and I don't see them losing to Vancouver. And if they do, prove me wrong. It'd be kind of cool to see Vancouver into the championship game, but I don't see it's going to happen. So I'm going to say it's Atlanta Swarm versus Sioux Falls Sparrows. We're going to have the championship in Atlanta next week. Atlanta versus Sioux Falls. I know for a fact next week will be a busy week. Busy week for the Kramer Show. You're going to enjoy it next week. I know this week, or the past few weeks, we have not had that many guests. Thank you to Charles Doherty for bringing on Eddie Gage when I told Eddie Gage that I would want him on the show at some point in time. But, of course, things happen, and I had to get way too busy. But next week, you're going to have hopefully countless numbers. Almost. Oh, let's just put the ceiling at 5. Hoping to get 5 players, our general managers, our coaches, or even owners. Just 5 out of the total of the championship teams to come on this show. We'll have interviews lined up for you with that. But that will end it here on the Kramer Show for this playoff edition once again. I've been Kramer Sandstone. This has been the Kramer Show.